by good fortune, you are actually in a business which is your area of passion.
That is correct.
So, do you consider yourself lucky, or you actually aimed at it, that I've got to do what I like to do?
Yeah. So, let me tell you this. I studied engineering and I majored in instrumentation technology because that's what my dad, that's what my
Your girlfriend?
not yet, not then.
Okay.
But people would come and say that, hey, this is what you should do. I had no clue what instrumentation engineering is. I step inside and then realize that I abhor the subject, and with a capital A.
I'm sure those guys would love to hear him say how he hates engineering. Okay, don't listen to it too seriously, because the country will have no engineers after that. So, okay, so tell me, what else did you do?
So now I'm doing stuff that has nothing to do what I studied in those 4 years. So I think it's an important lesson, and for anybody who are listening to this, I mean, if you take nothing away from this interview, but just one thing, it is just do only things that you truly love. I think that's what I've learned. One of the important lessons.
Would you say that the engineering that you did is completely waste of time, or you didn't find it something you want to pursue?
So the technical information, I have zero knowledge, but what engineering taught me is the ability to become a professional. And the definition of a professional is you do the things even if you don't like to do. I think that kind of that regimented approach, the ability to meet people from different parts.
That's a completely new explanation of what's the word you said? Professionalism? Would you say doing something that you don't like to do and do it well?
Yeah, so walk into any IT company, walk into any engineering company. You think people all like what they're doing? They may not, but they're still doing it. And that's, I think, is the definition of a great professional. Anyways, what I want to do is, I think we should only do things that you truly love to do. And so digital medium is something that I've always liked from the beginning, right from day one after I left my college. And touch wood, it's still, the interest still goes on very well.
Okay, just for interest's sake, how long has this internet phenomena been on? I mean, I'm a late entrant. People of my age, some of them have not even, logged on. But how early did this come to India?
So 95 was when I graduated, and 95 was the year when the ISP, which is the internet service providers, started coming and giving internet out there.
All
so
right.
A common man like you and me can actually go and start to use an internet. I remember I would come all the way from my hometown, Pondicherry, to Chennai, only to go sit in a browsing center and pay 160 rupees an hour to browse the internet at some abysmally slow speeds.
You get it a bite, as they say, one bite at a time.
One bite at a time.
Yeah, but that was really slow. But you still persisted with it. And I mean, did you see something which other people didn't see? I mean, obviously you saw something. What was it about the net and the whole experience that fascinated you?
So one little experience. So I was the editor of my college magazine.
Okay.
And so I felt that, hey, maybe I'm a decent writer, maybe I should start writing for other magazines. So I picked up a magazine and I started to write for them. And 1 out of 10 articles would ever pass through and get published. And even if it get published, they'll be mercilessly edited and cut down. So what happens to the rest 9? Because you spent a lot of hours researching and writing and pouring your heart out.
Okay.
And so what I did was I started a website. It's called a blog, but I started a website and started putting all the articles that I wrote, but that got rejected by the editor.
Okay.
And I noticed that those articles started being read by a lot of people outside of Tamil Nadu, outside of India, and I started getting some very positive comments about it. And slowly the readership for those articles really shot up. At one time, it was even farther than what the magazine itself can provide me in terms of readership. And that's when, man, now here's a medium that transcends geographical boundary. Here's a medium which requires no gateways that editors can do. Here's a medium that I am the editor-in-chief, and it gives you that complete high. And that's when I realized the power of the internet and so many other things that you can do.
But did you see that it will develop at the pace it has in India? I mean, I know it's still very, very slow compared to other countries where internet speeds are lightning fast. But are we anywhere?
We are far below. So did I think that it will grow? Definitely. But it didn't grow, the field didn't grow as high as what everybody else thought it to be. Like, for example, if it did, then we would be sitting in maybe 5G technologies with ultra speed internet, which we still don't have. But imagine what if it did, Madhav. Imagine if those high speeds really came in, and imagine the way how it will change how we watch cinema. Imagine the way how we will travel. Imagine the way how we'll do commerce.
All right, okay, I take that point. So now, I take the point, but I'm still not able to understand what is it that you're really driving at. Suppose we did have the 5G speeds, right, like now. How would it make our lives different?
This interview would be watched in high definition live in people around the world.
Okay.
That's for starters.
All right.
This would mean that people can react to our interview by asking questions live, and people can ask us questions and we can respond.
So we could have a screen right in front of us where somebody says, "Shut your mouth, man, you're talking nonsense." It could happen.
It could happen just like that. And
Oh,
these are just when we are scratching the surface.
Okay. And other areas where you think high-speed communication would really matter? Is it to do with...
So apply the same thing in education. Apply the same thing when it came to delivery of any digital content. It could be movies or music, and how we can do. I can just go on, and just almost every single line, internet can play a huge role.
So will this also put a lot of traditional jobs and traditional occupations kaput because the net will just take over? We'll just find out about that when we come back. So are we going to be out of a job in the future, or is what he advocating, is that going to really change our lives for the better?